Namaste and welcome to another bicycle live stream on Saturday, January the 4th, 2020 at 7:30 a.m. I've ridden 40 kilometres and it's time to ride home from the markets with all my organic fruit and vegetables. So it's warming up quite a lot. It says 27 on my thermometer, which is probably about right. It's going to be another humid day. Thoughts go out to everyone still affected by the unprecedented fires. There was a prayer session this morning, and I ask you to listen to Bronwyn's live stream as she did a guided meditation on visualizing rain for the fires, and I've shared that on my page. So please have a listen to it and let's focus our energy on what we want, which is rain, to put all the fires out, so that there is no more suffering for people, for the animals, for the environment. Tremendous amounts of suffering happening. So, okay, this morning's topic maybe ties into it all a little bit. All Things Must Pass, which was a song by George Harrison a long time ago. And what I'm talking about is, Patricia, watching from Belfast, the home of the birthplace of my father. He was born in Belfast, so amazing. Yeah, amazing. I must tell him that somebody's watching from there. He'll be tickled pink. Topic or the subtext of this morning's topic is coping with impermanence. Now, what do I mean with that, and why do we have to cope with it? So, all things must pass refers to the impermanence of the world we live in that the material world is real, but it is temporary. Some people make the mistake of thinking it's illusionary, but it is actually real. Material nature is real, but it's not. It's a reflection of our true home, which is the spiritual world. But everything here is temporary. Everything is temporary. The bodies we travel in, the land we live on, the houses we live in, the relationships we have, the jobs we do. Everything is in a state of change, in a state of flux, and even if something lasts a long time, it still will not last forever. This month is my parents' 59th wedding anniversary, which is amazing. 59 years that they've been married, and they knew each other for at least a few years before that. And you think, wow, isn't that fantastic? But the reality is, it can't last forever. We don't have eternality here. And it means that at some point, one of them will pass away, and the other one, who has been in a relationship so long that they can't imagine not being with the other person, they are then left in a state of absolute turmoil, because it's basically been close enough to their entire life or their life in this current body, that they've known this connection with someone. And the sad thing is, eventually that person will pass away. Bronwyn says 100% agree. Excellent, Bronwyn. I'm sure you're referring to the rain, praying for rain. So, and thank you again, because that was a really good guided meditation this morning. Really, really good. I really appreciated that you did that. So thank you. So, why is it such a struggle to have to live with temporary conditions in a temporary world? Why does it cause us such distress? It's a very simple reason for that. And that's because our everlasting true nature is eternality. We are an eternal spirit soul. never, never, we never were born, we never die, we just exist eternally. And the struggle that we face here is that we come into this world for whatever reason we came into it, and well, there is a good reason why. It's because we wanted to try to be the controller ourselves. We wanted to be in control, so we were given the opportunity to do it in a limited sense. And we come into this world, but we come into a world where we're always fighting against time. Where from the moment we are born, we are another day closer to the end of our existence in this body. So everything we're doing is an uphill battle. Every goal, every achievement, everything that we lay claim to, as each day ticks by, as each minute, each second goes by, we are closer to no longer being able to claim that because of the temporary body that we're in and the temporary nature we have. And we end up in a real struggle. We end up in a lot of anxiety, a lot of distress as we see the end getting closer and closer to our existence in this body. But we end up that way because we're not understanding on a deeper spiritual level. We're not accepting and understanding that we're not the body, that it's just our body that's going to pass on, and that we will continue on eternally in another time, another place, and we don't know where that's going to be, we don't know when that's going to be. And the hard thing, Nina says, hi from Smoky, Victoria. I so hope these fires are not permanent. What's it like where you are, Nina? Obviously it's smoky. Are the fires close to you? So even these fires are temporary. Everything that's happening is temporary. So that's a point I'm making very strongly. But we have a problem with that because we come from a spiritual realm where everything is perfect. I was going to say pretty much perfect, but it's not pretty much perfect. It is perfect. Everything lasts forever. Everything is, just imagine your greatest dreams of a beautiful place to go and holiday in or something, and imagine, that it's got perfect water and perfect weather and everybody's nice and friendly and you're the happiest you've ever been. And then imagine that, a million times better or an infinite number of times better and lasting always. And imagine, so the fires aren't near you, Nina, okay. Imagine that lasting forever. Imagine not having to struggle against time, against people that are difficult to deal with. Imagine everyone being happy, relaxed, in a state of constant love and bliss. Imagine your health always being absolutely perfectly fine, that you don't have to struggle against any conditions, you never have to go to a doctor. Nina says you're in the inner city, but it's awful. Yes, it is awful. And Kathleen says, great topic, Harry. Thank you, Kathleen. So, I spoke about this topic a year ago, and I did it in a different way. I said, if there's something wrong with you if you feel at peace in this world. And so this is what I'm coming back to. I'm talking about we are living in conditions that are very, very, very hard for us to accept because everything is temporary, and we don't come from that. That's not our natural condition. Our natural condition is eternal. Our natural condition is to be in a state of constant bliss, love, happiness, eternality. We don't come from a place where there's arguments, there's disagreements, there's vindictiveness, there's nastiness, there's mind games, there's emotional turmoil. We just don't, that's not what we came from. We come from absolute perfection. And we are thrown into a world of turmoil, a world of, as it's described in the ancient Vedic scripts, chaos, quarrel and confusion. is the description used to describe the times that we are in now, which is Kali Yuga. And chaos, quarrel, or quarrel, chaos and confusion, I'm not sure which order they say it in now, it so much describes what we experience here. We have this such a strong yearning, we have the strongest yearning in our heart to find perfect love, and we make this mistake of thinking that we find it in some relationship here, and we then suffer the consequences when that relationship disappoints, and then we say, okay, well, we'll have to have a relationship without expectation, and then we find that we can't do that, because how do we give ourselves fully to someone without expectation? And there's always these challenges, always. And even if we've got this beautiful, beautiful relationship, we're going to have our neighbours giving us a bad time, we're going to have our parents passing away on us, we're going to have, we'll lose our job, we'll have these fires, we're hearing about all the animals that have been killed, all the people that have lost their lives, the houses that have been destroyed, the environment that is being destroyed. We just don't find what we're looking for here, no matter how much we want utopia here, and no matter how wonderful our intention is to find utopia in this world. It's just not here. And we have to understand that. We have to be wise enough to see that and understand it. And then with that wisdom, we can then look at where we came from, and where, just got to find a gear here, and where we do find that. So if we're stuck here on this planet and we can't immediately go back to our home, what we can do, what we can do, if we're stuck here on this spiritual planet and we can't go back to our spiritual home, then what we can do is tap into it, tap into the essence, tap into the memory that is stored as an essence in our heart of our true spiritual home, of our true spiritual worth as a child of the universe. We can tap into it. We can find some comfort, some peace in it. We can meditate upon it. We can take shelter in it. We can realize that everything here must pass. Everything is temporary. So we won't be overwhelmed when our relationships fail, or when our relatives pass away, when we no longer can see them in our existence. We won't be so overwhelmed. We'll realize that it was temporary all along. And ultimately, where this helps us is when we are on our deathbed as well. When we're at the point where we are about to, and he's off. Sure, you can hear that guy. When we are reaching the end of our existence in this body, we can tap into what we have spent years being aware of. We need to be able to then tap into the peace that is around us and within us if we take the opportunity to tap into it. The amazing thing, and I posted a meme about this, and Kathleen said that's what we all need to do. Yes, it is. It is. For our own peace of mind and our peace of heart, that's what we need to do. I posted a meme about this that says that when we feel loved, it's from a slightly different direction, but it says when we feel loved, we want to give that gift of love to others. And the irony is that that other people already have that gift of love within them. So we're not actually giving them anything. All we're doing is opening the door and showing them what was already inside themselves. So have a think about this as I wind up this live stream, that all the love that you've been desiring has always been there. Always is, always was, always will be. And it's always been up to us whether we opened up to it or not. And it's understandable when we live in a temporary existence that we might have shut ourselves down from the love that is around us as a form of self-protection. It's completely understandable. But when we tap into universal love, when we realize that we are an unconditionally loved by the universe, we are a child of the universe, we are tapping into our true self-worth, and we find a peace in that is way beyond any material relationship or any other material activity that we're doing. So I hope this has given you some food for thought, especially if it's wonderful vegan food. And remember to live vegan and save lives. Have a great day. Remember, you are loved, always. Ahimsa.